Impact confirmed. The Slayer has been activated. Ensign, you have a lock on the Slayer's location? Confirmed. Weapon drop incoming. The main gate is under lockdown. There's a key in the nearby church. Route in the location. Ground zero. Key located. Once he kills the demons, the portals will collapse. Gates closed. The village is secure. Tier 5 readings in the South Bay. Incoming.
Okay.
We need backup! Someone get on that turret! They're making a final push. Titan advancing. Titan down. All remaining enemy targets have been neutralized. He's at the drop zone. Deploying weapon pod now.
Reroute all units to the energy relay. Command won't have the key. Mark it on the player's map.
mark before us.
Demonic leader identified. Demons in the north wing.
Balin, with the Slayer guarding the barracks, we'll take the airships. Rally at the priest signal. I'm on board. I'll establish contact with Micheratum.
Commander Thera, the demonic presence around the priest signal is getting larger. looked outside. There's a path through the tombs nearby. Attack on the barracks is a diversion. I thought it would need help. Enter. Mobilize the Slayer's dragon. Marking the Slayer's hut now.
Yo, Lightwing, what's up? Just completed the update yesterday. Bro, going in blind is suicide in the UN and some of these changes. Yeah, I know. Why do you think I haven't done it yet? That is the reason why I'm still not done with this. But hey, I'm trying, and that is what matters. Hey John, what's up? Yeah, I'm glad I didn't go straight for UN. I would have been cooked. Yeah, exactly. I'm going in blind though. Like I've only played update 2.0 blind, so I have no idea what to expect after Forsaken Plains? That's the furthest I've gotten, actually. On the new update. I just finished a regular playthrough on 200 speed. Shit. Is that through Kives mod? That you're able to get 200 speed?
Aviary.
Or is that through another mod? No, okay. It's from the Oh, that's the one you made. Yes, I remember that one. Yeah. I mean, how's the game on 200 speed? Like, that's a 50% increase. That sounds crazy. Man, I wouldn't dare do that. I mean, on Nightmare I would, but like, UN, forget about it. Oh man, this guy. Uh-oh. What a dodge. Come on, do your thing. Oh. There you go. It's wild that they've with 300% demon damage and 75. Oh, dude. Why would you do that to yourself? By maxed the parry window and knocked out speed down to one take. Okay. Felt really good, but I was pretty hard, especially towards the end. I was gonna mass kick pretty hard. Combined with the update 2.0 yeah. You're brave, man. You're really brave. Like, I would not dare to do that at the moment. But 200 speed, fuck, I really have to try that out, just for fun. And my loadings... John, how are your loadings? Because mine are super... Look how slow it is.
Those ships are powering the force field around the main cathedral.
Like, how's your loading? Because mine takes forever sometimes, and I just don't get what the issue is. I just got a new rig. My loads are almost empty. Oh man, I don't know what's wrong with my computer. It's probably a hard drive issue, isn't it? Or what do you think? Can't see what else it could be.
Mark the engines on the hell ship.
If you got it on a hard drive, yeah. Okay. My loads are instant too. If you're on hold, it takes a long time. You need to have SSD. But I have an SSD though. Like, yeah, but I also have an NVMe SSD. That's the thing. That's what I don't get. I don't know. Yeah, that is weird. I don't know what's up. It's like seriously, like I bought this rig specifically for this game, and the loading times are just abysmal. Even on Eternal, and I just don't get what the issue is. Yeah, I need to get my computer looked at. That's what it comes down to. Trash SSD, or it's failing maybe. Yeah, it could be. But I just got it. Like, it's a brand new computer. Defective maybe, yeah. Yeah. Oh fuck, I forgot to grab that gold. Shit.
Destroying all the ships will lower the
Fuck
barrels
it.
and open a path inside.
Yeah, I don't know either. I'm a bit lost. I guess I'll just have to bring it to one of those repair shops. It's an NVMe. So there shouldn't be an issue. And even sometimes, you know, like when I load a level, like the textures will also load. You know what I mean? Where's that fucking... There he is. Could be the slot you put it in. But I didn't... The thing is, I bought it ready-made. So... Maybe the slot's fucked, it's a slow slot. Yeah, fuck me, man. I need to... I know nothing about this shit. I am illiterate when it comes to putting together my computer, which is why I bought one that was built for me, pre-built. Oh. Oh, this is not going to go well. How are you not dead, bro? Oh my god, man. One shot and I'm down to 13. Oof. I mean, what the fuck, bro? No! I doubt it, but possibly could try reseeding it. It's not complicated. You could look this stuff on YouTube. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna start from scratch. That was so bad. That was so bad. I can't believe it. Yeah, rest in peace. I'm gonna hurry up and do this. Oh, that was annoying. Fucking hell. I feel like since the update, some of these parries just like the parry system isn't working as it should. I feel, I don't know, like with slow-mo disabled, it's a bit jank.
Impact confirmed. The Slayer has been activated.
Oh my god, coming all the way back here. It's so annoying. They don't register. Yeah, exactly. It's so annoying, bro. It's so annoying sometimes. This game could get me. You know, Eternal is like has its jank, but you feel like you have more control over, you know, like when I die in Eternal, I know why I die. In this game, sometimes I'm like, what? How did that not parry? How did I not like get that melee in or whatever? Right? It's so frustrating. Like fuck. Howdy. Hey, Amber. I was getting frustrated earlier. I'm never getting frustrated Eternal. No, I mean, Eternal, the thing is, like, everything is transparent. You know why you die. You know? Everything is so mechanically... how to put this? Everything is so mechanically accurate in Eternal
Weapon drop incoming.
that everything... If something goes wrong, you know exactly why. Barring maybe, like, a blood punch that doesn't work as intended. But other than that, everything else works as it should, right? Because, you know, you have all the... I mean, like, I'm going on even higher speed, but, like, the parry window is even wider, technically, than the normal window at... Yeah, okay. Fuck, yeah. Alright. Kill these guys. I don't know why I can't just skip. Once I kill those Imp Stalkers, we'll have to kill all this fodder to get the checkpoint. It's so weird. Like, what's the point of killing all this fodder once you've killed those Imp Stalkers?
The main gate is under lockdown. There's a key in the nearby church.
Despite that, I'm missing some parries a bit more often, and I feel like the game mostly I still feel I got the timing down. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's so... Yeah, it is hard to tell. Doesn't help, but I'm getting sub. Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, when you're low... The thing is, you know, like, when I'm streaming, I cap it on purpose because it just goes... It's so, like, up and down with my FPS. But, like, when I'm not streaming, I cap it at 120, and that feels so fluid. You know, like, I feel I have more control over what's happening. But, like, when I'm streaming, like, it's at 100 right now, but you'll see that I can go down to 70, 60, 70 sometimes, right? And that's so annoying. Yeah, you need like a new CPU. Yeah, like. Oh yeah. The game can really fuck you over at times. It's insane. It reminds me of Doom 2016, you know? Like, it's the same principle where it's not easy to restack. It's actually very hard to restack compared to Eternal. And on top of that, like, one enemy, one demon swipe gets you down to nothing. And, like, and it's so hard to recover after that. And that's one thing I really hated about 2016. Like, I love New Doom, but like 2016, I really have my issues with. I'm really, and just sometimes like I'll go back to playing it just for fun, just for like nostalgia's sake, and then I'm like, oh my god, this game, so much is wrong with it, you know.
All hell gate closed. The village is secure.
But I mean, you know, technically 2016 walked so Eternal could run, right? So we needed it. I haven't touched 2016 since before Eternal came out. Yeah, I mean, just for fun, John, seriously, try it out. Just do me a favor and load it up and tell me what you think. Because I think you'll be very surprised by how, like, Eternal just completely kills 2016. Come on, we're done here. No? We're not done. Yeah, I probably should. Oh no, I know. I replayed it a day or two before Eternal came out. Then playing Eternal, I was like, holy shit, 2016 was good. This makes it look so bad. Exactly. Like, it just feels like 2016 was like the alpha version of Eternal, you know, like, as in they had a vision, but they needed like a prototype, and that's 2016, you know? Like glory kills and, you know, very basic resource management.
Titan advancing.
Well, if you're on Nightmare and above... Oh shit, I have to shoot this guy. If you're on Nightmare and above, the damage from any enemy is absurd. That's why you can't... Yeah, exactly. That's why I don't like about 2016. Like, one of those fireballs... Eternal, the 2016 film... Exactly, that's what it is. That's exactly what it is. So I'm thankful we got 2016 because it gave us Eternal. Like, 2016 was the fetus, Eternal was the baby, right? Coming out. But I mean... Yeah, I just have so many, like, when I go back to playing that game, I really rage because I'm like, okay, why would you, first of all, why would you patch the game and make those fireballs do a lot more damage when they already did a lot of damage, but then you patch the game and make them do even more damage, which is retarded. And number two, why would you, in Ultra Nightmare, which is a permadeath mode, why would you let fall damage end your Ultra Nightmare run? That makes no sense, right? Eternal is just immaculate. It is, like, I played it yesterday, and the only reason why I'm not playing it now is because for some reason my mic doesn't work well when I'm playing Eternal, which is so weird. So I can barely hear myself. Or rather, you guys can barely hear me when I'm speaking. But I mean, other than that, I just love Eternal, man. It's like, Eternal is probably my favorite game ever. I've played it more than any other game. I kind of want to go back to 2016, but every time the thought pops into my head, I think, or I could just play the better version again, Eternal. Yeah, but I mean, seriously, just do it out of research. Like, just do it out of curiosity. Load it up and just play a couple levels and let me know what you think, right? Because I don't know. It's it hasn't aged very well in comparison to Eternal. Even this game, I prefer this game over 2016 by far. Oh shit. Oh fuck, let's take this. I thought I never played 2016 with binds. I only played it with Weapon Wheel. Yeah, there you go. Were you on console when you played it, or were you on PC back then? Because I was on console. Could be fun. Eternal, Dark Ages. Yeah, that's also how I rank them, honestly. That's exactly how I rank them. Dark Ages is a good second, I'd say. Like, as things stand right now, like, nah, always PC. Okay, but then give it a try. And I'd be curious to hear your thoughts, because every time I've gone back to it just out of curiosity, I just stop playing it within an hour. I'm like, I can't do this. This is just like... There's even a crouch button on on 2016, which makes no sense, right? Man, this is... Basically, the crouch button is only for secret hunting. That's all it's for. Never been a console gamer. I use a Razer Nega mouse for keybinds. I cannot play with a wheel. Yeah. At first, I was thinking about something like Eternal Dark Ages 2016, but the more I play Dark Ages, I've been thinking in more... Yeah. That's a good point, yeah. I'd say so. I think... Yeah, so you're saying there's a huge gap between Eternal and Dark Ages, and there's another huge gap between Dark Ages and 2016. Is that what you mean? Like, there's a... Like, let's say... The way I see it is that, like, I would put Dark Age... I would put Eternal at probably a 9.5, if not a 10, because I just love that game to bits. I would put maybe Dark Ages at, like, an 8.5. And then 2016, I would put at, like, a 7? You know? That's how I see it. Like, it's not a close 10 and then maybe, you know, 10 and 9 and then 8, right? Like, it's kind of... One is really good and everything else... Yeah. But this new update has done a lot to breed new, fresh... Yeah, for sure it has. Yeah. I mean, first impressions with Dark Ages was not far from Eternal, but the more I play, the more Dark Ages is wearing off. It's... Yeah. And Dark Ages just doesn't have the... It just doesn't have the, what's it called? The replay value that Eternal has. Yet, at least. Depends what they do with the DLC. But I doubt that they'll be able to reach that level, right? That's very unlikely. Yeah, exactly. But being able to actually quick swap now improves things so much. This gameplay is so much better with quick swapping. Hugo is just wrong. Yeah, I know he is. But I think he's just like... Here's what I think happened. And this is... I'm just going to pause this because I have to say this in the right way just to make sure that... What I honestly think is that Eternal really split players. Like, there was one side who really loved the game, and so that's us. We love the game. We've grinded it for years. We've exploited it in every way possible to get the most DPS and to move as fast as possible, etc. So there's us, and we're like a minority, I would say. And then there's like the bigger player base who found the game too hard, too demanding mechanically, like, you know, too many strings on the guitar, as Marty would say, right? Bullshit. And then, you know, they had a board meeting with the shareholders and all that, and the shareholders were like, guys, you know, we want to make sure that we can attract, you know, the larger player base. So what we're going to do this time is that we're going to simplify things because we don't want things to be too hard, because too hard means we lose people, right? And then id Software were like, okay, sure, okay. They looked back at 2016, which was like considered the best Doom game. Like, a lot of people see that as the best modern Doom game above Eternal. I don't think so, but like the casual player base does. And they thought, let's look at that game and like make it mechanically a tiny bit more complex by adding the shield. And this is what we got. Dark Ages. Boom, right? That's how I see things. Because Eternal was just like, it was too complex for the casual gamer. That's what it was, you know. For somebody who plays video games once a week, no way are they going to be able to master Eternal. That's going to take them forever, right? So that's how I see it. I may be wrong, but probably how it went. The mechanical improvements do a lot, but the encounter changes they made, yeah. Ironically, Dark Ages is attracting a much smaller audience. It is, and I think... And that's... I mean, we could talk about what's it called... The the free gaming service. What's it called again? Fucking hell. Game Pass. I mean, it's not free, but yeah, you know what I mean. Maybe it could be because of that. I don't know. I think it proves that the average player doesn't really care either way, to be honest. Yeah. It doesn't seem like it's popping. Are you sure? You don't think it's been successful on Game Pass? But nobody talking about this game outside the community. Yeah. And I wonder why that is. Is it because of the timing of the release, maybe? Did something else come out that maybe, you know, sort of distracted people? I don't know. But for sure, I think the problem is we're comparing the audience, you know, we're comparing sort of the attention of this game when it came out versus Eternals, where we were all locked in during the pandemic, right? And we were all just playing video games day and night. And maybe that's not a fair comparison. I don't know. I don't know. But, you know, the more... I don't know about you, John, but the more time goes, the more I'm like... I'm kind of more and more wishing they had made Eternal 2 for some reason. You know what I mean? Like, maybe an Eternal that was maybe a bit less complex, maybe a tiny bit less complex, but with the same kind of movement options. Maybe, you know, because... I don't know. Because that was the appeal of Eternal for me, at least. The movements and, you know, like the... Just gonna take care of these guys first because this place can be quite... What's missing? Oh, there it is. Yeah, forced race. Man, they really. I think that was the issue. I think forced race. I think that could be the reason why the game didn't do that well commercially, right? To be honest with you, at least on PC. You can let me. You can look at the most popular games on Game Pass. I never see Dark Ages anymore. Yeah, okay. Same thing on Steam. Even with the discount, like, Dark Ages is nowhere to be seen. I think the audience just doesn't care much for Doom and are a bit fatigued. Yeah, that could be it. Plus Force. Yeah. A bit of a game breaker, right? For me, it's like, especially the soundtrack, man. I mean, when I played Eternal yesterday, I was just thinking, man, the soundtrack in this game just slaps. It's so perfect. It's like, it's perfect. And what's crazy that, you know, not only did Mick Gordon, you know, obviously he did a great job on the base game, but even the DLCs, you know, that's Hulshult and David Levy. They did an amazing job. Maybe I would argue, because my favorite Eternal track is probably, what's it called, Blood Swamps. And that's David Levy and Hulshult, you know? So technically, like, why did they choose those guys to make this soundtrack? They don't have any beef with Levy and Hulshult, do they? Mick Gordon did so much to give the series aura for the normie player. I don't think people realize that. They don't realize it for sure. Regardless, 70% drop of players peak to peak is insane. I don't think games will be responsible. Yeah, obviously that's yeah, it is anecdotal evidence, but I think it's fair for us to speculate on these things. Yeah, me neither. I have friends who actually like Doom, you know, like I've introduced them to 2016 and Eternal, and they thought it was pretty cool, but they have zero interest in playing Dark Ages. Zero. They're like, been there, done that, you know. I think maybe id Software could have, I don't know, maybe it was the right time to move into Quake, maybe? I don't know. Or like, I don't know, like a Hexen or a Heretic like a remake or something. I don't know. Maybe we're, I don't know. Alright, what's up here? Dude, Megs have so much more HP now.
Demonic leader identified.
I've heard Levy and Holschel were busy. Yeah, that could probably be, yeah, they probably were working on other stuff, right? But still, it's just a shame. Oh, come on, Mero. How do I... Fuck off, you fucking imp. When they all played it, I enjoyed Eternal, and I was like, and I tell him like, bro, it's really good. Thought you might like it even more because they're into arena shooters. Really, honestly, think they would prefer this style. Yeah, but I agree. This is like also, I mean, this is a perfect game for people who thought Eternal was too hard and too complex, right? And they're like, May, don't care. Exactly. I would love to see Quake again. Same thing here. Like, I'd be happy with like if Quake got the 2016 treatment like Doom did, like let's say like a new Quake franchise, I mean, I'd say yeah, sure. Why not? They should give Doom a little break. Yeah, because it does seem like they're milking it, especially that I hear now that they're going to keep making more and more Doom games. Yeah, milk the series all you want if you got good ideas. I agree. Which is why I am praying for, like, at some point we get, like, an Eternal successor, in a way. That may be, like, streamlined certain things, but we still get, you know, like, similar, like, I'd love to, seriously, I want to get another Doom game with the fucking meat hook. I want that. I miss the meat hook in this game. The shield, you know, the shield is okay, but, like, it's a straight line. Like, you can't move like you do in Eternal, right? It's a shame. Dark Age is a good idea, but the execution was a bit scuffed. Yeah, scuffed and very, sometimes very, yeah, just very clumsy and very rushed. And I think if you release a game, if you're working on a game with a shield and you want all these mechanics, you want to make sure that the shield works properly. For instance, wait, I just have to lock in here. Boom. Boom. Done? Yeah. But I feel with Eternal 2, I wish maybe would have preferred that at this point, but I'm conflicted because I do like this. I do like what this game is going for, and I like that it's different. Here's the thing. I'm very split on this because on the one side, I love that they're trying something new, fresh, something grounded I'm fine with, but I don't know. I'm just like, as somebody who loves Eternal,
Establish contact with Reacher 2.
I wish there were more movement options. Because it's all very flat in this game, right? And what makes Eternal so replayable is the movement. One of the things, at least, you know, like obviously the having all these, where you have to juggle all these mechanics, like, you know, the flame belt, the grenade types, quick switching, obviously, but quick switching, that was an exploit, technically. But still, like, it just felt so... It just feels so good. When I was playing it yesterday, I was like, man, this game is just so good, right? I mean... yeah, Dark Ages has untapped potential. There's just some balancing questionable design choices here. Yeah. For sure. Eternal didn't have that problem at all. Yeah. You know, Eternal was the perfection of 2016, and I hope the next Doom game is the perfection of Dark Ages. Yeah, and I think that's probably what we'll get. Unless we get that in the DLC, because Hugo did mention that's the plan. Is to sort of add skill expression in the DLC to the game, so that'd be cool. So I wonder what that's going to look like. So maybe this game came out as sort of like a way to get people used to the flow of things, the mechanics, and then, you know, they raise the level. Oh my god. Bro, what am I doing? Playing like garbage. Yeah, Dark Ages needs to be more flat to emphasize. Yeah, it does. It does. At least for melee parry, because projectiles can track you. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And it does, you know, like, I do like that they're trying to give you the classic Doom feeling with strafing and avoiding, you know, projectiles and all that, but the problem with that is that it just doesn't feel very replayable, because there's nothing to... It's I don't know how to explain it. It's just... Eternal just had so much potential when it came to player discovery and, you know, really mastering the game, right? Fully. This game, the mastery, what's the mastery exactly? Learning to parry properly? You figure that out within, what, playing the game for a day or two, right? I mean... So I don't know. And the movement is something. The movement for something that ultimately is more linear and not in depth. Something I came to realize, though, off my recent playthrough, though, is that they absolutely could have done more with the style, and they have tapped into things a bit more with the encounter changes. Yeah, they have. I agree with you on that. I think they've done a good job at making things a bit more, you know, a bit more tricky, and that's good. Maybe in some areas maybe a bit too much, and they've maybe overdone it with the Arachnotrons because they're just everywhere. But other than that, yeah, because the buffs aren't even buffs for the sake of being buffs, as long as they are buffs to make the sake of adding extra gameplay incentive. Yeah. Can't strafe run though. No, you can't unless you use. I think isn't there a mod that enables you to strafe run? I think there is. I hate projectiles, Dark Ages, to be honest. Why projectiles in the Kaku? Yeah, the Kaku Demon is just a trash enemy. It doesn't work in this game. It does not work. Best example of what they've done with the Ratchatrons is that there's so many Ratchatrons on respawn in some of these encounters now, and I see exactly what they're going for, and it made me realize something. Because this game needed more hit scan enemies, not just the Terran or Chase Gunners kind of hit scan enemies, but the Ratchatron kind where they're aggressive and hunt you down and have an animation wind up. That's a good point, because when you're facing, for example, at the end of Ancestral Forge, not at the end of it, like the end where you've pulled down all those levers and you want to exit the forge itself, and you have to face the Aghanim Hunter, and he has one Arachnotron in support, and that completely messes you up, right? Because you really have to go from first, and he just hit scans you, and he takes your shield down, and he's fucking annoying, right? So it just forces you to prioritize him for sure. Yeah, yes, exactly. Yeah, that's a good example, right? That's also what I noticed. Like, I mean, but to be honest with you, John, the first time I did that encounter, I was super pissed off because I was like, dude, I just want to focus on the Aghanim Hunter. Stop spamming me with these fucking hit scan shots, you know? But then I realized, okay, so it's basically they're trying to force me to play a certain way. That's what it is, right? Oh, whoa, shit. Oh, man, I hate being stuck like... Alright, done here. But see, the thing is not even about the priority, it's about forcing you into playing around with the area positioning. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. The arena positioning, yeah, that's something Dark Age just felt extremely lacking because you need to focus so much on position and cover when you got the shields, yeah. But when they throw an Arachnotron on maintain, just gonna upgrade this quick. Yeah. And now it's like, okay, I can't block the hit scan because I need shield to parry the other demon. That's exactly it, right? So it really messes up your flow of doing things, you know what I mean? So you got to use the arena, and it forces you into arena position, and then it adds so much more to the gameplay. Yeah, it does. I think just that arena in particular is a bit annoying because you know it's a circular arena, right? So what I did is I just went in circles, and then what I did is that I went in circles, and then I killed the Arachnotron first, and I just focused on the Aghanim Hunter. After obviously also after I killed those Nightmare Imps because they also spawn, right? 2 of them spawn. And that really caught me off guard the first time I played. Jesus Christ. And I'm playing like trash. Have I done the challenge here yet? Yeah, I have. Okay, cool. That part in Sigil Forge, I was playing around the little circle a bit to cover to play that encounter instead of standing still in the open, just doing parachute, yeah. But there's so many more encounters that force that kind of arena looping and force you to think about that stuff now. Yeah, I mean, they did a good job at that. That's for sure. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just really curious about what they're going to do with the DLC, because that's going to be a make or break. Right? Because right now we're all hoping and, you know, that it's going to be really good and, you know, add loads of... Oh, man. I am playing like garbage. Oh man. Like all the counter buffs feel very well thought out. It feels more Eternal-esque, where I feel like I'm positioned more and just in general moving around more. Yeah, that's true. It's like those encounters are really they're really pushing you to move around a lot more. That is very true. What is fucking shooting at me? Oh, that guy up there. Fucking hell. Did you check Crystal Disc? No, but I will today. Actually, it's on my notes for the day. And I actually will today, so thank you for suggesting that yesterday. So it's on my list. I have not forgotten. The Oranitrons are definitely the best example of this, so as it makes me want to see more aggressive hit scan enemies of the same vein. But I mean, does it annoy you though being hit scanned because it just breaks your shield constantly? I know it. You know, for me, it's like I'm kind of pisses me off at times. You know. I both need a wind-up animation. Well, hit scan enemies need to be used in the right spots. Yeah. They do. Come on, stop fucking doing your shit. One more. Ooh. In a wide open area, it'd be annoying, but if you design areas with lots of cover and sprinkle, yeah, I agree with that. It works well with when you have cover. That's true. But in wide areas, no thanks. Fuck that. After 3 consecutive parries, you can shield bash in for... You get soft to all... Okay, fuck. I've never done that. I've never really thought... To be honest, I've never really thought about strats to take care of this guy. It's just weird because they clearly designed this game around parrying with the shield. See how long the loading is? Fucking hell. It's weird because they clearly designed this game around pairing with the shield and now blocking with the shield, but then you got 3 enemies with hit scanning that force you into blocking. Yeah, which mostly applies to the chain guards and tyrants because the Ragnatrons, you only have to do it that you get caught out and don't prioritize or don't position correctly. Yeah, but they know what they're doing, you know. But they really have to choose wisely. Then, as you said, you know, like I don't like Arachnotrons in open areas. I think that's that just doesn't work for me. I get frustrated. Maybe they should have hit scans not to damage the shield and only melee, and a hit scan enemies can break it. The whole point of hit scan is for you to block. Yeah, but if there's no penalty for blocking, then that defeats the purpose, doesn't it? It's just bad design because that forces you into spawn. Just spawn kill them. Yeah! I think the point of this cannon should be to use cover in this game. Yeah. Because it is true that, like, you know, when it comes to Arachnotrons, I have a tendency to really be aware of where they spawn and just take care of them right away because they're such a nuisance. You know what I mean? That's my tendency. That's my, like, with everything else, I don't care as much because I'm like, I can take care of them. But I mean, those guys, I just want them out as quick as possible. The Tyrants work fine with it at range as an incentive to get you to kill. Yeah, that's true. Like, that's like, you know, the Tyrant, what I like about him, I like fighting him. He's cool. Because as soon as you see him, like, you're like, okay, if I'm too far away, he's going to hit scan me and he's going to be annoying. So I'm going to go face to face and just, like, you know, focus on parries and melee and, you know, shooting him in the face, right? It's cool design. But it's bullshit that they can hit scan you close. That's a bug. I can imagine that's a bug. They're not supposed to do that. I've died to that. That is annoying, and that's not supposed to happen. I agree with you. That's fucking... It feels cheap when that happens, right? But what if there are 6 Tyrants? Fuck, I hope not. Fuck no. 6 Tyrants. Your dragon has red. Yeah. Because I think yours has yellow probably because you changed the skin. I haven't changed my skin at all, so I don't know. I have no clue what mine. I think that's why yours has yellow. You probably changed the skin at some point. Why did they give Tyrant wings when they never used them? That's a good question. I have no clue. It looks cool though. Looks pretty cool. Yeah, so Armored, just go back to the default skin and you'll probably get the red wings. Oh god, alright, this place. I usually don't have issues here, but for some reason I did earlier. Ah, fuck. And there's a Mancubus. But yeah, this arena, the way they've done it, really forces you to move. Like, basically... Yeah, this encounter was... Yeah, John, this encounter was changed. And this was one of the first encounters where I was like, oh, fuck, they they really mixed it up here. And I think... Because initially it was only... So once you kill the 2 first Pinkies, then you get 3 Stalker Imps, and then you get... the 2 Nightmare Imps, and then you're just alone versus the leader Pinky, right? I think with respawning Stalker Imps, and that was like pretty easy, like you don't really have to move that much. But now with the addition of the Mancubus, you really have to watch out, you know? And I think that's pretty cool. So I can see that. Yeah, they're trying to incentivize you to move a lot more, right? Hot take: invisible enemies are a lame gimmick. You mean yeah, like Nightmare Imps and Spectres in general? I agree. In Eternal, they had more of a use. Here, they're just an annoyance. Because I liked, for example, in Eternal, I liked the idea of Spectre Pinkies. The fact that, you know, you had this thing that was going to rush you if you weren't careful. That you know, like, and basically an invisible wall, right? That you can't see and it just rushes you, right? It's I thought that was pretty cool. And Whiplashes to some extent as well. You really think so? So you think it also applies to Eternal? Okay, interesting. The only thing interesting is it makes them more of a threat to Paradise, but that's done in better ways. Yeah, it's also true that you can't lock onto them. I think you have to set them up. You have to set them on fire before you're able to lock to. I mean, yeah, ice bomb them or set them on fire, if I remember correctly, in Eternal. Yeah. But I see your point, John. I see your point. It's just, I think it was their way of just adding more, like, I don't know, just more enemies, right? And, you know, technically Spectres were in the classic Doom games, right? Weren't they? Did you have Spectre Pinkies back then? Maybe mistaken. But maybe, yeah, maybe it was a way for them just to add more stuff to the game, more AI to the game, right? There were Nightmare Imps, but they're invisible, just black. Okay. Are you sure there weren't any Spectre... Wait, sorry, Spectre Pinkies? In Classic Doom? Also, Spectre Pinkies Eternal don't have the damage resistance in the front, which... Yeah, they don't... That's true. Nightmare was the first, okay. Because they mentioned this before. Done probably to balance them being an invisible player tracking train of death coming at the player. Again, I think it's just me. Yeah. You don't see a lot of Spectre demons and mods actually when I think about it. In Eternal. I may be mistaken, but I don't remember. I don't remember seeing a lot of them. So yeah, it's probably not the community's favorite demon. That's for sure. I just checked. Spectre Pinkies are. That's what I thought. Spectre Pinkies are in original Doom. Yeah. It depends. I've never used them in my mods. No. By the way, I have to try out. I really want to play Unholy Urdak, and I think I will do so because soon I have to go abroad, and I can only bring my really crappy laptop with me, and I can play Eternal on that one, not Dark Ages. So I'm thinking of bringing that over and just playing a bunch of mods. Yeah, some people swear by them, but I think that I don't know. If it's like a slightly CBT mod, you really don't want them there because everything happens so quick that you don't have time to look at what's invisible or not, right? So there you go. Yeah, good. Okay. Have you thought about porting Unholy Urdak to the mod portal, John? You can't yet? Okay. Oh yeah, is that because of assets or? See here, I don't like in this place. I really don't like chain gunners. They're really. This place is. Oh, fucking hell. And I crashed. Oh, God. And I crashed. That's annoying. At the very end of the level. Oh, God, that's annoying. All right. Gonna have to redo the whole thing now. Oh, God. I can't. Yeah, I've been wanting since day one. Well, right now it's because they broke the legacy mod importer for the third time. Oh, God. Okay. but it was never really functional at any point. Okay, fuck. Yeah, sorry guys, it crashed, so I had to restart it. Oh, the last arena. That's really annoying. All right. Still works on the legacy mod injector, though. Always has to, whatever. I'm not at a rush. No, for sure. For sure. And technically, it's still the best place to load your mods from, right? So. Yeah, for legacy stuff, exactly. Yeah. For custom stuff, it's a bit more complicated. But, oh, that's annoying. I have to do this again. My god. Fucking hell. Why don't they have a normal checkpoint system like they did in Eternal? That would be... But yeah, I'm definitely going to give it a try, though, because it looks like... I think I tried it back in the day. I think you uploaded it maybe... When did you upload that level again? Was it maybe last year or so? Or 2 years ago? But I have to give it a proper try. Last year, a few weeks before official mod support. Okay, yeah. Yeah, great timing. Yeah.
Target destroyed.
Amazing timing.
Destroying all the ships will lower the barrier and open a path inside.
What? What the hell was that? That's my fault for being slow. That mod should have been done maybe as far as back as mid... Okay, shit. But again, it takes forever to make those. You know, like... It takes forever. And I understand, you know, like... I've never tried that myself, but I could imagine that it's super time-consuming and it's just frustrating, right? Because... the testing and all that, like... Extremely tedious is the best way to put it. Not even difficult, just really tedious. Huge time waster for sure. Okay. Yeah. But still, I mean, without guys like you, we wouldn't have the modding community that we have, you know, so your work is very appreciated, that's for sure. The game would be dead. Just imagine 5 years of no Doom Eternal modding at all. I mean, that would have been a dead game. So I think it's really cool, like, having this community that's still, even to this day, making mods for the game. I mean, it's not as alive as it was maybe 4 or 5 years ago, but it's still doing very well, I think. I had a look actually at what's it called? At the Steam charts yesterday, and I noticed that Eternal had, at the time I looked, 2,000 concurrent players. Dark Ages had 1,300, and that really surprised me. That's why we're here. Yeah, that exactly. That's why we're still here. Yeah, there you go. Get me up there. It's always above Dark Ages. It is. It's crazy, right? I think that's crazy. Like, a 5-year-old game, you know. But I mean, if Dark Ages modding becomes crazy, which I don't think it's gonna go, it's not gonna get as crazy as Eternal. I really doubt that. But if it gets close, I think we could have something similar, you know. But I'm not sure. You're not surprised, honestly. Yeah. I don't think Dark Ages modding will take off much. I don't think so either. I'd be surprised, but you never know with what happens with the DLC. If they really make big changes there and add like loads of new mechanics, could be, but at the moment I don't think so either. I see less potential in modding, at least with the levels and stuff, plus less players. Yeah, true, exactly. Exactly. Let alone, you know, the map layouts and all that. You can't, there's no verticality in this game at all. So that automatically just like, yeah. Yeah, I don't see it either. I can't see it. Well, worst case, we always have Eternal. I just hope that maybe the fact that now modding is a lot more, what's it called? Now that we have like the mod portal out of beta, maybe, I mean, it's going to get loads of exposure, which could maybe draw people to start modding as well. I don't know. Plus, a lot of players also being Eternal players who probably would rather make an actual custom map in its studio with the time instead of going back to yeah, exact modding pre-existing masters. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, but I mean but exactly. I mean, but that's I know what you mean, but that was the marketing, right? I mean, that's how they pretty much said it, right? But nothing has changed much. That's true, but it looks a bit better than it used to. But it needs a lot more work still. But they definitely marketed it as being out of beta. That's for sure. And other than the UI, what's really changed? I don't know. Didn't they add some assets here and there? Like TAC 2 assets? I could be mistaken, but I thought I need to go back here first. A while ago, okay, so that wasn't part of the new, okay, got it. That's not recent though, okay. Then I made a mistake. I mean, there was a big issue update for QuakeCon, so I guess that's why they said, okay, good enough now. Yeah. They're a funny, like, id Software, just a funny studio, I think. What the fuck happened there? Except Legacy Mod Import is broken, and you still can open Legacy Mods in the Studio Editor. And I didn't realize DLC map said it's art asset. Yeah. But as I said, I remember at QuakeCon, you know that lady who was, not sure if you're watching QuakeCon, but you know, I think she's the technical director. While they were, I think during Slayers Club, so Hugo was playing, and Marty was with him on the couch, and then you also had this lady sitting on a computer in another room, right? And she was on camera, and she basically said at one point, because people asked if mod support would ever come to other platforms. So I think they maybe meant consoles. I don't know. And she was like, "We're a very small team, so we can't promise anything." that just says it all, right? It's not a big focus for them. Like, it's not a big focus. Unfortunately. That's probably a publisher decision, and they're not really caring about exactly. Yeah. Which is why Nexus Mods is so important, right? All right, that's it.
Headed to the chamber now.
It's amazing we even got it at this point to begin with. I completely agree. I was also like, I remember when they first announced. Remember, like there was rumors that they were doing it because somebody found like some coding backlog on Steam, and there was suspicion that they were doing it, but like nothing was confirmed, and then it died out because it took maybe like 8 months or so, and it died out, so people completely forgot about it. So hope was gone, and then when they finally announced it, I was like, "Fuck, this is amazing!" Yeah, I remember the leak. Me too. I was so happy. I was like, "Yes, bring it on." Um, so I agree with you. I think it's great that we even got it in the first place. However, it is very common now for a lot of devs to add official mod support for their games. You know, like look at The Witcher. The Witcher came out. The Witcher 3 came out in 2015, and like 2 years ago, they released official mod support for The Witcher, which is, you know, they didn't need to. They're not going to make money off of it, but they do realize also that it's a way to keep the game alive, right? So I remember distinctly because that leak came literally the day before, the day I finished working on the first version of it. Only I was so pissed. Yeah, I could imagine. I could imagine, but yeah. But we should be happy that we got it. Like I'm just happy that we have it, and you know people can publish their custom levels, and I've seen some crazy shit, some really good stuff, and I've also seen a lot of crap, unfortunately, when it comes to custom mods, because yeah, some people just shouldn't be modding, you know. But it just allows everybody to do it, and that's great. But there's also a lot of crap. I just spent like a year working on this for them to be doing this now 4 years later. Yeah. Yeah, I know. All right, cool. I have to leave, bro. But thanks for entertaining me that you know the whole stream essentially. So that was really cool of you, and hope to see you soon again. I knew if I knew I would have made it, I would have waited. Yeah, I understand you. I get it. Anyways, cool, John. I'm gonna bounce, and anybody else who's watching, I'm gonna leave now. Thanks for watching, and I'll continue this tomorrow, I think. So yeah. All right, guys. Have a good one. Yeah. See you, bro. Take care. Bye, guys.